Earlier in the week, the story broke, and we discussed it at the time, of Donald Trump firing his pollsters after their horrible poll numbers were released to the public, and it showed us all what other polls have showed us, which is that Donald Trump, as of this moment, and again, that is going to change, but as of this moment, he has no chance whatsoever of becoming president again in 2020. But there is a caveat to that particular story. He didn't fire all of his pollsters. He fired 3 of them. He kept 1 of them, a man by the name of John McLaughlin. And McLaughlin has a bit of a reputation among Republicans. In fact, he's got such a bad reputation among Republicans that he was actually blackballed by the National Republican Congressional Committee in 2014. They actually said nobody is allowed to hire John McLaughlin ever again. And the reason they said that is because John McLaughlin is an absolute liar. He just makes up numbers. He is one of the worst pollsters to ever exist in the history of polling. He is an absolute liar who doesn't know what he's doing, but he tells his employers, the people running the campaigns, he tells them everything they want to hear. And that's why Donald Trump kept him on board. And this is not just speculation, but here's the thing. Back in 2014, Eric Cantor, who was then the House Majority Leader, Eric Cantor, Republican, hired McLaughlin. And McLaughlin was telling him, man, your poll numbers are great. He had him up in the polls by 34 points. Cantor ended up losing his primary by 11 points. But McLaughlin's polls had him up by 34. And then he lost by 11. And they were all shocked. Same thing happened with Barbara Comstock. Oh, your numbers are so great, Ms. Comstock, you're going to win. Oh, crap, you lost by double digits. Wow. My numbers were way off, weren't they? Oops. That's who John McLaughlin is. But he makes the candidates feel better. He gives them a sense of ease. He says, hey, don't worry about anything. You're up by like 800 points, so you're good. And that's what Donald Trump wants to hear. He doesn't want to be faced with the reality, which is that he is losing. I mean, God, the latest numbers from Quinnipiac in Florida, he loses to O'Rourke, to Buttigieg, to Kamala Harris, and of course, Warren, Biden, Sanders, the big heavy hitters. But he is even losing to the people who have no shot at winning the nomination. That's what's so nuts about this. He loses to almost everybody. But he doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to know about it. So he keeps around this McLaughlin guy, because McLaughlin's going to walk into his office and say, hey, you know those 17 swing states where you were losing to almost everybody? I wrote down some numbers here that show that you're going to win. What are these numbers based on? I don't know. I just wrote them down. Here they are. Do you feel better? Well, yeah, actually, I think I do. Great! We're in business! That is the John McLaughlin style of polling. And that's exactly what Donald Trump's been wanting. He doesn't want people to show him reality. He doesn't want people to show him that he is, in fact, a loser. He wants somebody who's going to walk into that office every day, tell him exactly what he wants to hear, and kiss his ass on the way out. That's what Trump wants, and it is going to be an absolute and utter disaster for him in 2020. And to that, all I have to say is, long live John McLaughlin. I hope you have a very, very good tenure working for Donald Trump up through the 2020 election. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.